All right, guys, what is up? What is up? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, your home for personal development tips, sports news, music, and more. We're back with you guys with episode 65 of the podcast. And if you notice, tonight, my co-host George, he will be here shortly. He's running a little behind, but he will be here. But I got my boy Rich Mitchell. He's a returning guest of the podcast. He's been on here a couple times. And tonight we're going to be talking some NFL 2022 Wildcard weekend matchup predictions. We're going to go through our predictions. We're going to talk about the matchup Saturday, Sunday, and the single Monday game. And we're going to go in-depth, obviously, on our Philadelphia Eagles taking on TB12, the GOAT Tom Brady, down Sunday at 1 p.m. As always, I'm your host for the evening, Steve Ushler. And like I said, joined alongside me is my boy Rich Mitchell on the other end. What is up, Rich? What is up?
How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great, man. I'm doing great. You see me here. I got my Hurts hat on. I've been repping, man, since the beginning of the season. It's been a rough ride, but it's been worth it.
Oh yeah, man. You're one of the original people, I will say, that said they were going to have a winning record this season and make the playoffs. So hats off to you, dude. And everybody actually has that on record because you were here in September when you actually said that. So hey, man, you're one of the few that actually said that, and props to you, my brother.
Thank you, man. I'm listen. Not all heroes wear capes. You know what I'm saying? And listen, not all villains are off the radio and off of social media and everything of that nature, because most of the people who were saying Eagles were going to fail we're all on the radio. We're all on, play shows on ESPN and NFL Network. I'm not going to call them out. Because that wouldn't be cool. But it was certain people and certain networks that were saying we had no chance whatsoever, And I just want to take the time to bask in that glory, I'm, being a fan and having faith in my team. It's just so worth it to be a loyal Eagles fan right now.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And it's the thing. I'm like, I don't think we were as bad as people thought we were going to be. I'll be honest. I didn't think we were going to have a winning record, but hey, man, this team, I think Jalen Hurts has definitely surpassed expectations. I think Nick Sirianni has 100% surpassed expectations. He started the year weird with not running the football. That's the only thing I'd probably give him. We probably should have started running the ball a little bit sooner, but other than that, man, it's been a solid approach, realistically. We are going to play an intro for you guys. We're going to get more into it, but we're just going to play a quick intro like we always do. Be a couple minutes, and then we're going to hop more into this, guys. So sit back, relax, and we'll be with you shortly. All right, guys, as we said, welcome back. Locked In Podcast, episode 65, Wild Card Weekend, another sports episode. I know me and George talked sports last week with the Eagles, saying who you guys want us to face. Well, we already know who we're facing now. we're facing none other than himself, TB12, Tom Brady. And hopefully the Birds can pull out a victory this weekend. I'm confident they can, but you'll hear my prediction. But realistically, I'm confident that they can pull it out. We're gonna run through Wild Card weekend, and we'll go through the matchups, our predictions. We'll give a little analysis on all of them. But obviously, the main one we're gonna be talking about tonight are the Philadelphia Eagles, none other than Philly Zone. I like the hat, by the way, as well, man. Hurts season, hell yeah, man. Um, I think Hurts really is going to be the future of this team. A lot of people are saying this year he's built great trade value, and I'm like, trade value, I don't know, man. Depending on how he performs in this playoff game, I really do believe that he's going to be with us for a little bit, man. I like the kid. I think that he could be for a while. Let's see. Birds are so we have a comment in here. I believe it's from with Todd. It says Birds are an 8.5-point underdog. We will beat the Bucks. I like that optimism, and hell yeah, that is a huge line, dude. They're giving us no respect at all. I know it's in Tampa, man, so they always get 3 for the home team, but man, 8.5, we are getting absolutely no respect at all. I like it like that, though.
I like it like that. I was just about to say that. And that's where we thrive on that.
Yeah, we did. We even thrived on it because when Wentz went down, man, we were the underdogs in the 2018 playoffs. We thrived on the underdog mentality. We had the dog masks, the ski masks. That was a fun year, and yeah, I like it like that. It wouldn't be Philadelphia if it wasn't underdog, man. I'm gonna be realistic with you, but
that's that white collar, go get it. Go to work. It doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter what people's expectations of you are. You put your head down and you work, and that's what Philly is. And so that's why this is why I got this hat on right now, bro. This is why I got this hat on, because I respect it, and I think that Jalen Hurts embodies what Philadelphia is as far as a person who, you come in with expectations. You're a second-round draft pick. You know what I mean? You're not really expected to be much. You're expected to be probably, probably a trade piece or a career backup. You know what I mean? And he definitely came in and showed the fortitude and the willingness to work. And that's something I can respect. That's something that I feel like a lot of the players can respect. And of course, Sirianni as well. Sirianni, you talk about a first-year head coach who the second he came to the podium, man, they were laughing at him, saying he wasn't good enough, saying he couldn't handle the mic. Like if you can't do good on the podium, how are you going to be able to run an NFL football team? And but as you and I know, come on, man. Like Belichick's not good on the mic. Come on.
Yeah.
That doesn't tell you nothing about being an NFL coach. It's what you put on that field. And what you put in practice and what you put in your profession every day, the work that you put in.
Absolutely, man.
They put in work.
Yes, sir. I couldn't have said it better myself, bro. You're completely right, man. It's just harp on the Jalen Hurts point, man. You're completely right. Jalen Hurts has that. He has that fire, man. I think Jalen Hurts thrives on it. Like people saying that he can't do this, can't do that. You saw it in college when he was in Bama and he wasn't getting the reps, and he went to Oklahoma, and it's like Jalen Hurts is just his entire career. It's just kind of been like that, and he thrives. He steps up. He doesn't literally. We've seen it with Carson Wentz. As much as I did like Carson Wentz, here's the thing: he in the face of adversity didn't have that type of heart. He didn't have it. He didn't have what Jalen Hurts has. Jalen Hurts does have something special, and we cannot overlook it at all, man. He brings to the table that blue collar work ethic that this town loves, this city loves. And you were absolutely right on your Philly point. You go to if you put in the work inside this city, that's all we care about. You saw with players like Dawkins, you saw with players like Allen Iverson, players that literally just put the work in and they play hard and they play to their ability. This city loves it, and that's the type of stature that kind of Hurts and embodies. But
yeah, this city loves our backups too, and Hurts started his career as a backup. And we love to hear the underdog story. Nick Foles, even back, going on back to AJ Feely. And you can't forget about, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if Jaws was a backup at any point during his Philly career and as an Eagle, but this city loves Jaws, man, and Jaws loves this city too, bro. Like just the everyday grind, every day. I'm listen. People don't see much about me or where I'm from or how I've developed, but I'm gonna put my head down and put in the work, and that's what this team has done overall. And so yeah, I have a lot of respect for that.
Oh yeah, man. No, very well said. And I like your Nick Sirianni point too, man. Everybody bashed him, right? When he was at the podium, everybody's laughing. They're like, look at the way this guy talks. It's like, yeah, you're completely right. Like, as if, like, what this guy says at the podium has any effect on how he can run a football team. I guess they maybe thought, oh, this guy ain't going to be able to, he's not going to be able to get the locker room behind him. But look, these guys have fought for him, man. You could tell these guys play hard for him. So he's doing something right inside of the locker room to get these guys pumped up. And I think it also goes to say that there's a lot of vets on this team. Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. Even though Brandon Graham's not playing right now, he's still in the locker room. He's got the vet presence. And these guys won a Super Bowl with this team. Jason Kelsey, these guys, as long as they're here, you know that they're going to be able to get these guys going and to have this coach's back. Everybody buys in. And, yeah, you can already tell this is a very together group. With all the adversity they've faced this year on a rebuild year. Hey, a rebuild year, able to go 9-8. And honestly, had we played our starters, no, we got blown out last game. Who knows what happens? There were a couple games this year. The Niners game I can think of, the Chargers game, the first Giants game, games that we honestly could have won. I think we lost the Chargers game by 3. Niners game was weird as hell. Like, we really probably could have won that game. It was odd. A lot of things didn't go our way. And then the Giants game was just odd. We barely scored, but who knows what could have happened. There's a lot of close games this year, but realistically, this team exceeded a lot of people's expectations. And then a lot of other people say, oh, well, they haven't beaten anybody. You play who's on your schedule. Like, I hate when people say that. Like, you play who's on your schedule. They said that the Super Bowl year, too, that we didn't beat anybody besides Carolina. And then
These are all NFL football teams at the end of the day. Are they not? Have they not all earned their way onto an NFL roster the odds of making an NFL roster from a college roster are very, very slim. I mean, I know it factors in D1 and what schools you go to, but it's in general sense of speaking, it's very, very slim chance that a college football player makes an NFL roster. So I still stick to the, I don't know if you remember when people used to say this back in the day, and even people still say it now. The worst NFL roster can beat the best college football team roster.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I truly believe that.
Oh, absolutely, man. You take the Jacksonville Jaguars and you put them up against Alabama. Yeah, the Jaguars are winning. Yes.
Exactly.
The Jaguars just beat the Colts. I mean, damn, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're the worst team in football. They just beat freaking Wentz and the Colts. That's what I'm saying. If the NFL team shows up, it's not even close. I laugh at the people that try to say that Bama could beat like an NFL team. I'm like, no, they could not. No, they couldn't. Because all them Bama players are not going to the NFL. It's completely different.
And hey, speaking of the Colts, man, we got to give Howie Roseman his credit, man. And I was one of those people, I ain't going to lie. I was one of those people that was going to be like, listen, we might need to move on from Howie. You heard me. I think I was talking about that the last podcast that I was on, not the last one, but the one earlier this football season. But I was one of those non-believers when it came to Howie Roseman, especially with the missing of that Justin Jefferson draft pick. I was really, and then you got to remember draft picks like Marcus Smith and things of that nature, first round draft picks that just didn't work out. But with Howie Roseman, you take the good with the bad. And I mean, at the end of the day, you got to admit, I mean, he puts a good free agency roster. Like what he pulls into your roster from free agency, he actually makes pretty good decisions when it comes to free agents and wheeling and dealing and crunching the numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's why that boy Philly 500 out there. Shout out to Philly 500s talking about, Howie Roseman calculating the calculations. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real thing. I believe that, man.
He's a human calculator. I was one of them too, man. I'm gonna be honest. There's still some things I really don't like about Howie, but I will say I do give him his props on the entire Wentz trade thing, how it went down. I mean, look what Carson, look what's going on over there in Indianapolis. This is just ridiculous. The fact that they lost their final 2 games with that guy, that's 100% on Wentz. Like, it's not, you got the best running back in the league this year in Jonathan Taylor, and you still can't get it done. What we were able to do this year, I might need to get out my Howie Roseman apology form and give it a signature, because I do give him props there. I was one of the ones too that bashed him completely. Like I said, there's a couple things I still don't like, but I do give him his props completely for the situation that we're in now. And I know he's probably sitting back and laughing and everything.
I know he is. And the thing for me, I'm with you. Like, I got an apology letter to write myself, but I'm gonna hold off on sending that letter out until after this draft coming up, because we got 3 first-round draft picks on the first round. I want to see what he's gonna do. I really don't think we should trade those. I really think we should keep those and build off of what we have. Being a
100%.
first-year team going to the playoffs, man, we're the only team with a first-year head coach that's headed into the playoffs right now.
With 3, yeah, exactly. And then 3 first-round picks. Our future is bright. 3 first-round picks. The Dolphins and the Colts didn't make the playoffs. They almost both did. Colts is ridiculous. They should have made it. All they had to do was win one of their last 2 against terrible teams. And then the Dolphins were on a run right there, but they lost that one game in the middle of the stretch, and I think it ruined them. Unfortunately, they had to win out, but they didn't. And but hey, for us, that's good, because they're not in the playoffs, which means it's a higher pick for us. Same thing with the Colts, not in the playoffs. So guess what? Higher pick for us. And then we got our pick as well. So the future is bright. I agree. Howie should not trade him. We should just build on exactly what we have with Jalen Hurts. I don't want to trade Jalen Hurts. I think he should stay. He has at least earned another year. You have to give the kid another year. You cannot get rid of him, in my opinion. Just build on what you have. The team obviously likes this kid. Build on what you got here. He made the playoffs in his first full year as a starter, besides the Minshew game and then last game, which doesn't count. George is coming on too, but before he brings on, I'm just going to read this comment from my guy Todd. He says Sirianni is a player's coach. He believes in them and vice versa. He became humble, listened to his players and us fans. Props to him. 100%, bro. Very, very good point. Man, it's exciting. I'm excited to see what this future holds. We just won the Super Bowl a few years ago. Everybody tends to forget that. One thing I will tell you about Howie Roseman, look at what our team did. We've made the playoffs every single year of the last 4 years except for one, which was last year. We made the playoffs. Remember Foles? Alshon Jeffrey dropped it again in the Saints game. Who knows what we could have did that year. The next year, Wentz went. Clowney hit him in the playoffs. Concussion. He was out. That was unfortunate. Last year was the first year since the Super Bowl that we did not make the playoffs. So, and we're making it this year. So 3 out of the last 4 years. Or no, 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Crazy. What's up, George?
What's up, man? What's up, guys? Rich. What's up, Rich?
How you doing, man?
So late, man. I heard you guys. I was watching you guys a little talking before I even got on online, man. Some good points there.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna take this overlay.
Hey, Steve. By the way, I'm the same way as you guys, Rich. Same way, man. I hate people say, "Well, who have you guys played?" What you mean? It's the NFL. It's the cream of the crop. Even the wackest team is a good team. People need to shut the fuck up and actually step in the field if they think it's easy. But go ahead. Continue. When you end up with real football players and real ballers, you see the difference. When a man's hands are this fucking big, and then you got little Mike, cat little Johnny eating chips that smell like feet, talking about, I could do better. No, you can't. Sit your ass down, go watch the parade, and that's it. Well, let the professionals do what they do,
Would you say little Johnny eating chips and smells like feet?
Yeah, little Johnny, little Mikey on the couch, little, with the little dirty ass Eagles jersey, got stain right here, talking about they suck, the cowgirl, this and that. Well, listen, they might suck, but they're better than you, buddy. Your life ain't shit compared to theirs.
Me and Dylan were just saying that somebody was like trashing Wentz, and then it says the guy who's trashing the player, and it shows this big dude sitting on the couch eating chips.
Exactly.
Exactly what it is.
You ever see them guys that are like, oh, if I was in that field, I would have tackled that dude hard. It says the guy that says it. It shows like a cartoon of a guy sitting on a couch eating a big bag of shit.
And you can guarantee none of these guys have played. Like, people who say that stuff a lot of them are people who haven't even like stepped foot on a football field on
Ever
any level.
ever played a sport in their entire life. Never played football in high school and even grade school and elementary school.
Even
Never
mud
played
football, right? Like, we used to do the Thanksgiving game all the time, and sometimes in the snow. Like, they never played in the snow, in the rain, street football. If you understand the game a little, you know what it takes, man, and you know they work hard. And whether you play it or not, it's different. But we never played it. You just kind of run your mouth because it's a trend, and you just want to talk shit on Facebook. That's where it kind of gets corny. We don't really, get into all that. We like to see the facts, the players. We got personal insights, actual insights. I mean, we're supposed to have some big players tonight. Unfortunately, it didn't work that way. But I'm even lucky I'm here because I'm not going to be here long. But yeah, man, we know what's going on a little. And Rich, we actually like to have you here because you understand it very well. You never talk out of character. Like, oh, I could have done this. Oh, he could have done. Well, listen, if the defense was better, if Wentz didn't play, maybe he didn't play because he didn't have to play. What if? Oh, what if your auntie had balls? He'd be your uncle. He would be your auntie.
I just want to put the point that it's fine to it's completely fine to like be like upset with like how a team's performing or something like that. But for somebody, the people who say like, oh, I could have did that better, are the people that crack me up. It's like, no, you couldn't have. Come on, like these are grown men that are professional athletes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I could tackle him. Yo, if you try to tackle that guy would truck you.
Stop. I will say this though, I do support when people, when it's obvious. Only when it's obvious. I will say this. I do support when it's straight up, like earlier in the season when people were like, Sirianni, run the ball, man. Or run the ball. It's obvious. I support that because it's not out of a place where it's like trying to say, well, I could do that better. It's not trying to put myself
into a talk shit. It's not about energy. It's more about like just the confidence you have in a player. Like, yo, he could have done better, but
yeah, you see a player, this player can run behind this offensive line because this is the top 5 offensive line. I'm not even going to disrespect. It's a top 3 offensive line right here in Philly.
Offensive lines, bro.
So, you got a I wouldn't say first year quarterback, but you got a quarterback as his first year starting, and you know that the run is going to help him. And this is kind of like anyone who's played football before, or who has played the quarterback position before, that a run game really does help in your development, because when you mix it up, it keeps the defense guessing, keeps them hesitant. So I didn't mind earlier this season when people were like, Sirianni, you got to run the ball, man. And I think that he listened, and that's what going back to the comment down below,
right.
He listening to his players and the fans, and it's not listening to the fans to an extent, because you don't want to listen too much. It has to be how can you say? It has to be a confidence in your own abilities and your own decision making when it comes to your play calling. So Sirianni, it took him some time, but he did listen to the fans and he started running the ball more. But this man has kept his philosophy throughout the whole season. Don't get it twisted. This dude's philosophy from the gate is a large part of what kept this team rolling. I respect that.
Well said. Absolutely. And yeah, no, the completely point of like it being obvious. Agreed with you, man. Like Ben Simmons not shooting the basketball. Dude, just shoot the ball. Like I could shoot the ball. Yeah, I could shoot the ball. It's like I might not be able to shoot over LeBron James. I'm only 6'2". I ain't like Ben Simmons. I don't got 6'10" of height. But I would still shoot the basketball. Like, yeah, obvious. Like, but
if you have 6'10" height, bro, and that frame, bro, you better be doing something more. Because not for nothing, but I feel like all 3 of us, if we like I got a friend Albania was about 6'11". He's huge. He's tall as shit. He makes it look small. If I had that kind of body, bro, not for nothing, but I would have been in the NBA. I might have been the worst player, but guess what? I would have been 6'11", and I could have dunked. So I'm just saying, bro, if you have the kind of body, bro, and you know how to move a little bit, play a little, it's not, it's a little different. Simmons is just lazy, period.
Ben Simmons saying, let's put this into context, okay? Ben Simmons, has missed more free throws in this season than Steve Nash has in his whole career. That's a fact. Yeah. You can go look it up. Steve Nash has missed 43 free throws in his whole career. Ben Simmons has missed 45 just last year. So I think it's time for a trade. I respect Simmons and I respect all players who make it to that level, but I just don't think he's a good fit for Philly. I think that um, it's just certain points of no return that can be passed when it comes to how you interact with the fan base, how you interact with the franchise,
Yeah, you're
not
right,
franchise,
bro.
but an organization.
Mhm.
And I think that his holding out has been very childish. I think it's been very I just think that he's turned his back on the whole city pretty much, and I think
I think so.
it's time for a change. And all props to him, all love and respect, because at the end of the day, I like to stay positive. I don't like to bring out negative energy, but in the same sense, he has not been a good fit for the city.
Nah, he'll be on his way out for sure. There's no way he's going to be able to
After
stay here.
2022, he might not be here. Since we're gonna talk about the
Yeah,
Sixers,
I mean, they're
he's
trying
not
to.
there anymore.
I mean, they're trying to get a move for him, but unfortunately, Daryl Morey wants a superstar. It's going to be hard to get it. But anyway, I mean, guys, let's. I'm gonna hop into like the wild card weekend predictions. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna shift and transition over because we got seven games this weekend. Honestly,
It's a lot of games, guys.
It's a lot. We got is it seven or is it? You know what? It's six. It's 6 games. Yeah, it's 6, not 7. So we got 2 on Saturday. 6 is still a lot. Two on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then the one big one. This is actually new for once. They're actually doing a Monday game. I was actually kind of hoping maybe the Eagles had that one. That would have been funny. But we're playing at 1:00 on Sunday. But capping off this wild card weekend is going to be interesting. We got the Bengals, Cincinnati, who are no slouch, and we got the Las Vegas Raiders. I've been thinking about this one, and it's not the most exciting of the wild card weekend, but I think, in my mind, I think this could be a very close game. Number one, the Raiders have had a lot of close games this year, a ton of them. You saw the Dallas game on Thanksgiving, the game last week where they nearly tied an OT. The Raiders have been in a lot of close games this year. So I think it wouldn't be anything different if it's another close game here. Even though they win all those close games, I am going to say that I personally think that Cincinnati's going to win. I'm not really sure on a score, but I'll say Cincinnati wins by a field goal at the end.
Cincinnati, yep. People seem to, somebody just right now, I like Cincinnati. That seems to be the consensus. Cincinnati seems to be,
Well, since he's a good team, they're no slouch. I mean, Joe Burrow's been actually playing very well. They got Jamar Chase, the rookie receiver. I personally think he's been the best rookie, best young receiver this year. And I hate to say that over Devontae Smith, because Devontae Smith has been having a phenomenal year.
Yeah,
but I think Jamar Chase has been ridiculous for Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's been ridiculous.
Joe Burrow's looking good. Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts here on a Raiders Cincinnati game? Do you guys think it's going to be close? What's your prediction? Cincinnati's home. In this one.
I got Cincinnati, bro. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think Cincinnati's gonna win, in my opinion. But then again, look what happened last game with the Eagles, man. I know we're not playing for real, but we get the lead. He was looking kind of good. Next thing you know, back and forth. And I go to the bathroom. I took a break. Like 20 minutes later, it's like 51-20. I'm like, what the fuck? But I heard you guys explain it already before I got on. Like, obviously it wasn't the most prioritized game, but still, man, it could have been a much better game if it was close, because it was a tie. It was 10-10.
Dallas was playing super hard in that game, and we had game score could have been closer, but we were playing third and fourth stringers. We weren't playing our starters.
We weren't really trying our hardest. I know. I figured it was just
we didn't need to. We didn't need to. Why risk injury? You know what I mean? Like, Dallas had something to play for. They won anyway, but it really didn't matter because they got the 3rd seed, which they advanced a little bit.
Yeah, the Bengals are a good team, bro. I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. Some of the teams to avoid will be those teams. Of course, we get Brady in the first fucking game, but again, our chances are better than it would have been with AB around. I mean, it's not to go back to the whole fiasco Antonio Brown, but
Todd,
he's not there.
Todd, I like all your picks here except for 1 or 2. But man, we're pretty much in the same boat on who we're voting here. Rich, what you thinking for that first game? You thinking Raiders? Or you thinking Bengals?
Man, you already know I got the Bengals, bro, and I'm not. that's no knock on the Raiders, because the Raiders have been a great team. Raiders have been an organization similar to the Eagles, that just one of those teams you can't break. They keep, no matter how bad they look here and there, they still find a way to make it, and that's what they did against LA. And so
Some big games.
What I have to say, okay, Bengals are stacked, man. I'm just put it to you straight up. You know, Joe Burrow, you know what I'm saying, and the weapons that he has, and the hunger that they have on top of the weapons that he has. And to be honest with you, I think this is. I mean,
They could be a sleeper for sure.
to me, Eagles are the
think
number
so?
one scariest team to play in the playoffs because it's like we don't got nothing to lose. People don't think we're gonna do nothing.
Right.
So
They're underestimating us.
we're gonna go all in. But if I could think of another team that's close to that, Bengals, man. Bengals, how people look at their franchise, how people look at their organization, how people look at their team, they're like, man, well, Bengals, we're not used to Bengals making noise in the playoffs. Bengals not gonna make no noise in the playoffs. And then that's right when that happens. If you notice in the NFL, happened with the Giants, you know, and Eli, when they made it through the wild card, right? We remember that one.
Of
you
course.
know. So when you make it and people don't expect you to make it to the playoffs, you know, and then look at the comment down below.
The AFC is
See,
overall.
it's very weak.
Right.
Agreed. Too. The NFC is so much stronger, and that's a good deal, Rich. I'm telling you, man. I said this to my boy the other day. The Bengals could be sleepers in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl. Don't look at me crazy. I'm being honest. The AFC is very weird this year, man, and the Bengals have blown a couple teams out this year.
The 49ers good too.
The Bengals put up 50 on some teams. I'm like, yo, like you never know. Since he's had weird games where up and down, where they lose a game and then they blow a team out. You just never know with the way the AFC is constructed this year. The Chiefs won a lot of games towards the end, but you just never know with them. I'm going to be honest. Like, and the Bills have been weird this year. I'll tell you what, the Titans look very good too. That's going to be the one challenge. The Titans, the rumor is they are getting Derrick Henry back and they have a first round bye. But you just never know how good. You never know if Derrick Henry's still going to be hit after a running back gets an injury like that. You just never know how they're going to be. But we'll see what happens, man. But agreed, AFC overall very weak. Sure can see no times.
It's such a shame too because Derrick Henry was oh my gosh. I mean, his stiff arms would go down in history in the NFL.
True. Fun fact for you: I don't think Cincinnati's won a playoff game since 1993. So that's something funny to look at because Andy Dalton was in the playoffs multiple times and would always lose in the first round. They haven't won a playoff game, I think, since 93. So I think that they're 100% due. But I do give hats off to the Raiders organization. With all the turmoil they've been through this year, they did a hell of a job being able to keep it together and make the playoffs. With losing their coach and John Gruden, and then on top of it, the whole Henry Ruggs issue, which was a mess. For them to be able to make the playoffs through all this, I was actually happy for them. I was happy that they made the playoffs. I know my Steelers fans out there, I'm going to get hate for this, but I don't think the Steelers should have made the playoffs. I think if the Chargers would have just not taken that time out in that game, I don't know if you saw that game Sunday night. The game was going to end in a tie, and if it did, the implications were that the Steelers would not make the playoffs.
Both teams would make the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Steelers would not. Yep, and I think that the Raiders had the idea we're going to run the clock out, and with like 30-something seconds left, the Chargers coach took a timeout. And like you saw Derek Carr in there, and we're like, what the hell? Like, so they're like, I think that they had the mindset, let's win the ball game. Because you know what? They want to pull something like that. Guess what? We're going to kick the field goal. So they go in and kick the field goal. The Steelers make the playoffs. Chargers are eliminated. The only reason I know that this has been Ben Roethlisberger's last year, likely, but I would have loved to see Justin Herbert in the playoffs. I think that would have made it a lot more exciting seeing Herbert in the playoffs. Unfortunately, coach of the Chargers, what are you doing, bro? Like, I don't know what else to say. It's like, what are you doing?
Man, one thing I got to say about that situation is this is very unfortunate. You know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate because it would be nice to see another young team in the playoffs, you know, other than the Eagles. I mean, but, you know, listen, if you're going to call a timeout and give a team a chance to run it up on you, that you got nobody to blame but yourself, for real. So that's how I feel about that situation. And
I'm seeing how you guys feeling about Philly and Tampa. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that now.
San Fran and the Cowboys. We got the Cowboys versus San Fran.
But
I know who's Rich is gonna go for, but I mean that will be a good one too, though. I think San Fran got them.
Why don't we just go? We'll move it through. So the Eagles are going to be the third game on the list. We'll just move through real quick. Bills and Patriots, and then we'll get to the Eagles. So guys, Bills and Patriots. What are your thoughts here? I just don't think that. I don't think that as good as like they've kept it together, New England. I think going to Buffalo, I really do believe that Buffalo is going to beat New England.
That's going to be a good derby.
I don't think New England's going to have enough. Yeah, I don't think New England's going to have enough to win.
They don't have this team, bro. They did okay though. I mean, considering they lost a lot of players and all that, they don't got Brady anymore, but. Now I don't see them going to really, see, I like the Bills. Somebody said I like the Bills. I think the Bills going to surprise them, or not surprise them, but I think it's going to be a little, too much for them. It's a good game though.
Bills are the favorite. Yeah, I'm going Bills. How about you, Rich? The same thing, Bills.
Every outlet is saying that.
For me, I'm right down the middle, but I'm going to lean a little bit towards the Bills just because, to me, from what I see, Josh Allen takes care of the ball more. I think he has a little bit more experience. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to always kind of give the edge to the dude when it comes to teams that are this close and are both. I mean, Bills are hungry, man. Bills are hungry. And so the Patriots are kind of used to winning. That's an organization that's used to winning, but they don't have the same tools that they had back when they would win. So we're dealing with the new quarterback here.
Yeah.
This is his first playoff game, you know?
Yep, and then he said Bills by 10. I like that prediction because you know what? I don't see Bell. I think it could be higher. I think the Bills could win by like 17 or 14, but I will give Belichick his respect because he does keep games closer than you would think, right?
He's a very experienced coach in playoffs.
I like it. I like it. Bills by 10. That's probably a fair ground. That's yeah. I agree. I don't have a ton to talk on that game, but yeah, for sure. I think that the Bills will win and they'll be on to the next one for sure. And I like that point. Josh Allen does take care of the ball. You're right.
Right. And then we got to see.
Let's move on. No. That's the Monday game. Let's hop on to the one that I know everybody wants to talk about, and that's the next game on the list, which will be the Sunday at 1:00 game. Philadelphia Eagles versus I know it's a whole team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we got to talk Tom Brady, TB12, the 7-time champion, just won last year. How sweet would it be for the Philadelphia Eagles to go in there and knock the former champion, the former NFL champions last year, Super Bowl winners, to be able to go down there and be able to knock Tom Brady out? I think it would be a beautiful thing.
If I could just kind of like add on to Steve, I'll kind of take this one, and then I'll let Rich, give some of his good analogies. I think, honestly, bro, it's a closer game than we think. They're a banged-up team. We have the momentum going, but, I mean, it is Brady. They always seem to survive somehow, man, especially even Tampa. Even last year they won the Super Bowl, but I mean, it's not like everything was sweet and fun for the whole time. They had tough games, like last season. As this year. So
that's my boy Ray down there. That's my boy Ray saying, he's like, as sorry as I am to say it, I got Tampa shaking my head.
I don't disagree with him. You know what I mean? But I think the Eagles might win, have a good chance. But I mean, I don't know, bro. Tampa. If I have to lean, I'll say more the Eagles, but I don't know, because it depends what state of mind they kind of come in and if they can adapt to us. We took a nice break. Most of our guys, I mean, everybody was a bench that played against the Cowboys. So you'll be interested to see how we kind of like running the ball, how we kind of play against them, and how can we shut down Brady. We can't put the pressure on Brady. He's done in the past, but of course, it's not the same team that won a Super Bowl. So
exactly.
State of mind, exactly. Yeah, there we go.
And I'll just say my thoughts, and then I'll kick this over to you, Rich.
Yeah.
I'll kick this over to you, Rich. So my whole thing is, I think that Tampa will win, but here's the thing, and here's why I'm saying the Eagles could easily, I don't want to say easily, but they could definitely win this ball game. I am not saying by any means that Tampa got this in the bag. The Eagles should 100% win this ball game if we can stay true to our identity, and that's the only thing that worries me here. Just because of Tampa Bay's run defense, it's the only thing that worries me here. They were the number 3 run defense, fun fact, in the whole NFL this year. And if they didn't lose Shaq Barrett, and I forget who the other guy they got on that defensive line, they lost Shaq Barrett and they lost somebody else who are actually coming back for this game. Both of these guys are coming back. I forget who the other guy is, but both of them were out. If they were both playing, they probably have the number one run defense. The Eagles, the way we've been strong lately is running the football. If the Eagles can run 150, 200 yards on this team, the Eagles will win the game. If we could stay true to the run offense and be able to run the football on this team, we will win the game. I firmly believe that. And the only other thing that worries me is what's his name? Gannon's defense. It's the thing that worries me because of the way that he does not bring pressure. It's history has shown he will have to change that approach. And I'm telling you, like, if he doesn't bring pressure and he only rushes that front four for the first half of that game and then tries to adjust later on, after 2 quarters is going to be too much. He's going to have to change his approach to start this game, because if you let Brady sit back there with rush 4 defense and he can pick you apart, it's going to be a long, long day. He is going to have to change his approach. 100%. Yeah, he said you got to put pressure on Brady. You have to. Brady does not like it when he has pressure on him. You got to you have to get him frustrated. You have to put him in pressure. And
you got to make him work harder. Do things he doesn't like to do, because he likes to kind of, you got to play with the defense, bro. If you keep going in his face a little bit, like the Eagles did in the Super Bowl, honestly, remember how frustrated he got the game? He was missing passes.
He's a 7-time champion. The guy hasn't seen many defensive looks there isn't many defensive looks out there that he hasn't seen. Right. That he has not seen. But the thing about it is you got to bring pressure on this guy. You have to switch it up. You have to bring blitz packages. If you don't, it's going to be a problem. I know that I know Godwin's done for the year. I know Fournette's banged up. Mike Evans is banged up. You just lost Antonio Brown, who walked out. But Mike
Evans is banged up, right? Or no? Is Mike Evans going to be playing the right receiver?
He's playing, but he's not 100%. And either
he's not in the best form. Right.
Well, Tom Brady has had 8 different. I mean, he's had his last game. He had 8 completions to 8 different targets.
It's Tom Brady.
So 8 different targets. He had completions to 8 different targets in his last game. So we know he can pick you apart.
He can, no matter what. He can hit anybody. You've seen he's won some Super Bowls with nobodies. Like in the early years, he won with like nobodies. Like the thing about Brady is he can pick you apart. You're absolutely right. And I do think Tampa will win in a very close game. But here's the thing. I think the Eagles, if they can do the things that I just said, if they can do that, they can beat this team. If they can run the football on them, which you never know, right? The Saints had the number 1 defense us going into playing them this year. We were able to run the football on the Saints.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Right.
I think if the Eagles don't get scared, if they don't start running the ball early, and then like they don't get any yards and they get scared and try to go to the pass all the time, Jalen Hurts will have to pass the ball, right? But I mean, if you stay true to what your main identity is running the football, Eagles can win the game, and Gannon will have to adjust his scheme because he likes to play that zone coverage. Here's the thing, that does not fly with Tom Brady. He likes to play that zone where you sit back and you only bring 4. No, it cannot happen.
Steve, I'm about to start, man.
Go ahead, man.
Start, bro.
I'm gonna kick it to you,
I'm
bro.
about to have one of my rants, man.
All right, man.
Let's hear it. Right, that's what we're here for.
Let's go.
Man.
Gannon is horrible. Wow.
I got the birds.
Okay.
Already know, bro. Listen, the beginning of the season, I had this hat. The beginning of the season, right?
I know you did.
So, I'm not jumping off now. I'm not jumping off now, Brady or not. And I know some people gonna call me crazy, but listen, we wasn't that far off the first time we played them. We almost came back with them. And if it wasn't for a bogus taunting penalty on Brady's last drive, we could have very well won that game. But besides that point, I'm gonna get to this. Like you just said, your point. We beat the number 1 rush defense. We beat them. We handled them. We have the number 1. To me, we have the number 1 offensive line when it comes to running the ball in the National Football League.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's so many teams. You don't think all these teams already knew we were going to run the ball? Like, all these teams that we've beaten, and they're not very good offenses. I'm not going to sit up here and say we've beaten great quarterbacks this season. That's true. We haven't. But the defenses, we've beaten good defenses this year. The defense side has nothing to do, you know what I mean? Well, it has something to do with the offense, but I mean, we can get into the argument of, possession time and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, right, the defenses that we've beaten and the defensive lines that we've beaten in the run game, man, it's. I mean, we can handle these guys, but the thing is, are we going to stay true to ourselves, like you said? If we stay true to ourselves, if we run it down their throats, right, and if we put pressure on Brady, comment below. Once again, put pressure on Brady. We got a good chance.
100%. And you're right. 100% in the comment. Like here it says, also got to make sure Scott gets his touches, explosive explosive. Yeah, we're gonna have Scott. We're gonna have Howard, and Miles Sanders is coming back too. That was the report earlier this week, right? The Miles Sanders. We're gonna have our complement. We're gonna have our complement of our runners. We're gonna have the running back by committee. And that's actually good because then we're going to give them different looks, different styles of run, different looks. Yeah, you're right, dude. Like I said, if we can stay true to our identity and we're able to do what we do well, we will beat them. We will. They are not impossible to beat. They are not one of those teams like if we were going up to Green Bay, I'd say we're not winning. But they're not impossible to beat. The Bucs are beatable. Just like if we were playing Dallas week 1, I'd say they were beatable. The same thing with the Rams. I would say that they're beatable. Like it's not saying like there's a guarantee that we're going to win, but they are beatable teams. All these teams. If the Eagles, and that's the thing, people can overlook the Eagles. We already saw 8.5 points. They are giving the Eagles no respect. I love it. I think that the underdog mentality. I think that we definitely can win. I'm 100% going to be obviously pulling for the Birds. Even if the Bucs do win, I think it'll be close. 3 points, maybe 4. They're not going to cover that. The Eagles will cover that 8.5. There's no way.
If we lose, if we lose, I mean, we don't got nothing. Listen, nobody thought we'd be here anyway. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy because at the end of the day, we got 3 first-round draft picks waiting for us in this next draft.
We got a bright future.
Yeah, we got a bright future. Like we got a quarterback that can operate the offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With minimal turnovers. Has one of the lowest turnover percentages in the NFL.
Yeah, the rate's low. Yep.
Jalen Hurts. A lot of people don't want to give credit where credit's due, but at the end of the day, this dude takes care of the rock for the most part.
Yeah, he does. He's had some games here and there where he really hasn't, but I mean, like, to be honest, as of late, he's been taking care of it, man. He's been good, man. He's not like, look what Wentz was doing last year, man. Crazy. That's what he was doing this year too. But like, I mean, maybe it's not a fair comparison because they're different styles of quarterback. But man, yeah, Jalen Hurts has he's definitely improved throughout the year. Everybody said he couldn't throw the football earlier in the year, man. But there's some throws this year, man, that he's made that have been pretty ridiculous. They make you think twice when you say things like that. Here's the thing: he's not as accurate on the deep ball. He underthrows a lot, right? But he's a young quarterback. This is only year 2, and it's almost like it's year 1. Because how many games did he really play last year? 4 games? He didn't play a full season last year. This is basically year 1 for.
It was a grooming season, bro. This season made him a man, basically. Like Rich was saying, he kind of like he separates the men from the boys. That low turnover rate, bro. Definitely getting good. Completing a lot of passes. I don't see too many completes or interceptions, but yeah, with the whole running the ball deep a little. Clearly, in the beginning of the season, there was a lot of controversy and a lot of criticism, I should say. Now it's like you shut a lot of people's mouths, down because again, like we said, we had 7 in a row. We did lose the last game, which I mean, we didn't count for much, but I think let's give him a little credit because next season will be a whole other year. But again, if we do beat Tampa and we go on, bro, I mean, that right there, it's like a mini win for us, a moral victory, a moral Super Bowl. I mean, obviously. To make it to the Super Bowl will be legendary. I mean, not that we would win, but
Hurts has at least earned next season for getting to the playoffs. I believe. I think at the very least, he's earned next season. And people, I mean, I can see what you're saying. As far as the accuracy thing goes in the beginning of the season, but again, listen, the reason why you drafted a quarterback in the second round is to develop him behind Wentz. That was the original reason.
That was the plan, right, all along. Right.
So since Wentz didn't work out, Wentz didn't want to be here, next man up. And now it puts him in the fire. It puts him in a position where he's either going to sink or he's either going to swim. And what we're seeing develop so far, it looks like this guy is his mental fortitude You know, the mentality that he brings. The if we lose, it's on me. If we win, it's us. We did it. If we win, that's the type of quarterback that you need to operate in an organization that presides in Philadelphia.
Hey man, that's good enough, bro. For me, I mean, I like that. And honestly, this year was good because he was I forgot he was a kind of like a backup. He was basically in case the whole thing with Wentz. Like the Eagles kind of got ready because they knew that Wentz probably was gonna stay. They got him, trying to build him up. And guess what? It's like, all right, buddy. I know we talked about you being another year like sort of like a secondary quarterback. Now you got to kind of just join the man. He sink or swim. So he adapted. You know what I mean? He did as much as he could, and I'm happy with Jalen Hurts. Throughout the year. But obviously, he has a big piece of history to write, and if he does well against he's going to arguably the GOAT quarterback-wise against Brady. So we'll see what the game brings, man. I'm excited for his game. I'm off, thank God. So I'll be watching. Actually, I can actually hear everything this time, not just watch at the club as he goes. I mean, we'll see what's up. And I mean, again, if we are healthy and do well, we could win. This is what I think because I got to go soon. It's three ways this game could end. Either somehow we do our best and we just kind of lose a close game, like kind of Steve was saying, and like you're saying, Rich, like they say that they do beat us, but it's like they beat us, but it's almost like we won. It's like one of those victories. Like Tampa could beat us in one of the next rounds, but if we complete a lot of our passes, bro, if we take, if we take them to like deep waters and we do our best, I mean, you know what, the real fans, the real supporters will be happy with that. Number two scenario, they just somehow blow us up the water, we fucked up, we choke, and everybody's gonna be pissed off and miserable. I'm gonna hear on Facebook. Number three, the Eagles exceed their expectations. They pick it up, bro. Somehow, again, like Steve say, we put the pressure. Brady gets frustrated. He fucks up. It's also a little bit chance. It is a sport after all. Football sometimes, you can be prepared what you want. Sometimes it just goes your way, doesn't. And if everything follows through, bro, and somehow we can pull together, our guys, are doing their best, with the quarterback and all that, and we win, and it's a close game, and we go to the next round. And if that happens, dude, the city will be on fire just to win against Brady. And it's cool that he's in the first round for us. So yeah, this is the three ways it can happen. Or number four is just a chaotic game, just a crazy game, wild card in the wild card, and somehow like whoever kind of like gets a little more prepared wins. So you can kind of go either way. But like Steve said, I feel like Tampa might win, but I'm very close to the edge. And honestly, I got to do some more studying and see, like kind of watch the last game or last two games for us to decide, who I think is a better chance. Because I really didn't get to watch much of Tampa's last two games. I just got some highlights, but he doesn't say a lot.
This is the time you want to play Tampa. When they just recently lost Antonio Brown and all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah,
this is
can distract them.
You want to face them. I will say Shaq Barrett and I still keep forgetting who the other defensive guy they have are coming back, but it's still going to be interesting. But I just want to address this point. My boy Ray said right here. He said Jalen Hurts making the playoffs above 500 at the age of 23. Impressive. It is impressive. And fun fact, this is the youngest Eagles quarterback in history that has made the playoffs. I don't know if you guys know that, but he's 23 years old.
23.
Yep. Wentz made the playoffs, but here's the thing. He did not play. Remember, he got hurt. Foles played in the year that they won the Super Bowl. This is the youngest quarterback in Eagles franchise history to make the playoffs at 23 years old. This kid's got a hell of a bright future. And quarterbacks have a long shelf life. This isn't like a running back who has a 4 or 5 year shelf life. Quarterbacks have a long shelf life unless they have some crazy injuries. You know what I mean? But this kid's got a bright future. And always forget, not only do we have the running backs for the run game, but we got Jalen Hurts who can run the football. I do think they'll probably spy him, but they just don't know what we're going to throw at them because we can run, we can throw, we can run with Hurts, and we can run the ball by committee. So we have a lot of things.
Talking about Cam Gill, bro. I have to cut you off, Steve. I'm talking about Cam Gill. Nah,
who's Cam Gill?
The guy talking about because I was looking at the linebackers with the Shaq Barnett. It's not KJ Bridge.
Oh no, it's not Cam Gill. I don't know. It's somebody else though. I forget. Okay. I'll find out.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's Shaq Barrett, and somebody else.
Right.
Nah, we have a good chance. I mean, like I said, dude, like you said,
we definitely got a good chance, man.
Last year was a different year. I mean, with the whole thing was going on, but they also had Antonio Brown. I mean, look, they were the team to beat last year. They surprised everybody. Brady showed why he's considered one of the GOATs, and he's up there in the conversation. I mean, some people don't feel that way, but I mean, I understand what's going on. At the same time, if you can do great one team and beat it so comfortable, go to that team and win a Super Bowl, that does mean you know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, you're one of the GOATs, one of the best. Nothing we've ever seen before, but if the Eagles, kind of come up with, devise the best, plan, the best plays, and kind of keep it guessing a little, we have beat them in the past, so, Of course, different quarterbacks and different, different coach and all that different
We
stuff.
got players on the current roster that's beating him, that knows how to beat him.
Right.
Like we got players like Brandon Graham still here. Like even though he's not playing, Brandon Graham, you best believe that Brandon Graham is gonna talk to that team. Like you best believe that Jason Kelsey is going to talk to that team. You best believe Lane Johnson is going to talk to that team. You best believe all this veteran presence from. I'm not sitting here saying that this is the Super Bowl team
Right,
from
right.
2017, but you get what I'm saying. We still got traces of that in this team's DNA.
There's a couple people still.
And the philosophy, that underdog philosophy is still there. So I'm thinking, like, why not?
Yeah, he said Warren Sapp. Is it Warren Sapp?
Not Warren
Sapp. Not Levante Bernard either. Yo, I just found out who it was. It's Jason Pierre-Paul's coming back. So Jason, you got JPP, and you have Shaq Barrett coming back. It's gonna be a challenge.
Is JPP? He's missing fingers, right? Is that the?
Yeah, he's missing like one of his fingers from the firework incident.
Blue, yeah, he got some of his fingers from the fireworks.
He's got like a club, like when he like.
Man, I still respect how effective he still is despite that accident. Like, don't get me wrong, the firecracker. Don't get me wrong. Like that was a pretty dumb move what he did.
Stupid.
But to still be out in the NFL playing and still be effective, like with that, he basically is like disabled.
Dude's hardcore, man. That requires a lot of heart. A lot of guys would be like, I'm hanging it up. I just lost some fingers. I ain't playing no more.
For real.
Sheesh. Nah, man. Overall, I think it's gonna be a good game. I love to hear your guys' insights. I know we've been seeing the comments below, but if anybody wants to pop on, we got the link in the bio, so you guys can pop on. If you guys just want to drop your comments below, what you guys think for that Eagles game? I'm thinking the Eagles. I think it's going to lose, but it's going to be close. But the Eagles are going to make it like you're going to be proud of them. Like even if it's like it's going to be a 3-point game, or the Eagles can win the game, and I really do believe that they can win. I'm not just saying
Eagles
it
by 3.
I like it. I think any game with Brady's close. Brady does not get blown out in the playoffs. Let's be realistic. That just does not happen.
Eagles by 3, and it's going to come down to our defense too. It's going what plays can we make? How can we get Brady to fumble? How can we get Brady? How can we strip somebody? Can we punch the ball out of somebody's hands after they catch it? Like you said, Mike Evans banged up. You know what I'm saying? Gronk is still there, but I mean, besides Gronk, what weapons? You got Leonard Fournette, but we pretty much contained Leonard Fournette the last time that we played them, and Leonard Fournette is not coming back 100%. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, no, he's not, and we did contain him. You're completely right.
Yeah, man.
I just want to go so they said Arizona and LA for the next one. Arizona and LA. Yeah, you know what? We'll skip the Dallas and Niners game. We'll go back to it. And we'll skip the Chiefs and the Steelers one. I think out now this will be a little bit quicker. It's going to be more
guys. Just letting you guys know, I got to dip off more, but I'm about to cut you off, bro. It's been I wish I could stay to the very end, but I gotta go to work, unfortunately. Go Eagles, man. Hopefully we do a great game, when we win and go to the next one. So shout out to guys that watch us, Eagles fans, NFL fans, and let's see what you guys store. And appreciate you for coming in, Rich. But unfortunately, I gotta go, guys. But yeah, hold it down. Take care, bro. No problem, bro. I'll see you soon. I'll see you as well, Steve. We'll talk more for next episode. Go Eagles, and let's see it. All right, guys. Later. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, so I was going to move over to that Arizona LA game since they asked about it. Arizona and LA. Well, we can go back to like I said, the Chiefs and the Steelers one should be a quick analysis. Cowboys and Niners, I have a little curveball there, but so it's interesting with we were actually just talking about this right before we actually went live. The Rams and the Cardinals. This could be a very interesting game, and it's going to be for a few reasons. The obvious pick is the Rams, right? Because they're home. The season series this year, this is one of those games where it's boring. It's like the Bills and the Patriots, because I don't want to say boring, but it's the third time we're seeing these teams play because it's a division rival. They've already played twice this year. This is the third time. They split the season series. Here's a fun fact. The Cardinals are the best road team in football this year. They're 8-1 on the road. and one of the games they lost was to the Lions. They should I don't know how they lost to the Lions, but I think they just took them lightly and they lost. I
Lions
don't
is
know.
still an NFL team, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
Lions is
Kyler
still
was
a football
out.
team.
Kyler might have been out for that game. Kyler Murray, I forget, but whatever the case may be, if it wasn't for that, they'd be 9-0 on the road this year.
Yeah, I think he was out that game too.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting for sure. Stafford's never won.
You already know Stafford's
never won a playoff game either.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what we were talking. I don't know if he can do it, man, on that stage. Even with Odell Beckham, even with all these, he's got some weapons. Let's be real about it. Stafford's got some weapons out there, but I just don't know if he has, again, what we talked about earlier, that mental fortitude to really. Are you able to bring it? Are you able to come and bring it and not come in there nervous and not? I don't think so, man. I think Arizona's going to pull this one out.
My bad, man. I think my stuff just kind of locked up for like a couple minutes. Yo, can you hear me? Yo.
All right.
Yo, can you hear me, bro? All right.
We connected. All right, my fault. We had a little technical difficulties here. My fault.
Oh, no problem, man. What were you saying, though? You were saying you think the Cardinals are going to win it, pull it out?
Man, listen. I mean, James Conner's a beast. Let me put that out there first and foremost. James Conner, cancer killer. You feel me? Out of UPitt. Shout out to UPitt.
AJ Green.
Hey, AJ Green. Bro, listen.
Buda Baker is Buda Baker is a beast in the secondary too, man. For them, he's the kind of the leader of that defense. So here's the thing. If I just go, I'm just gonna be real quick on my pick. I think I'll just give the benefit of the doubt just because it is in LA, and I think Stafford does finally want to get one. That the LA Rams win, but here's the thing: it's like the Eagles game, man. I would 100% not be shocked. I would not be like, wow, I can't believe the Cardinals. If the Cardinals win this game, not going to be shocked. Not in the least.
Steve, does he take care of the rock, bro?
He doesn't always.
Stafford throws so many picks, bro. He threw like 3 picks his last game or the game before that. One of them games, he threw like 3 interceptions. Bro, I don't know, man. If you can't take care of the ball.
Yeah, he's going to go with the vet, Matt Stafford. I do agree. He's thrown more picks than touchdowns as of late. I think it's going to be really, really close, but I do think that the Rams are going to win. But, dude, I'm really not going to be shocked. This could be a 50-50 for me. It's very hard for me to even choose this because I 100% think that the Cardinals can win this game. Even the Raiders-Bengals game, even though I'm picking the Bengals, I would not be shocked the Raiders win. The only game so far I've picked that I think is definitive, I don't think there's any way the Bills lose to the Patriots. But, yeah, man, I'm going to be on the fence about this one probably till game day. But, as of now, I'm picking
the Rams. The Chiefs lose to the Steelers, to be honest. No. I think that's my one definitive game right there. I don't think the Chiefs lose to the Steelers.
No way. Not in Arrowhead. That would be a shock if somehow that happened. Nah, I don't see it at all.
Roethlisberger is too washed up.
Yeah, I mean, at least he was able to get the playoffs on his last year, but it's not going to be enough to take down Mahomes and the Chiefs. You're going to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. No. It's
I don't think so, man.
But the Rams game is going to be that actually is going to be a good, even though we said it's the 3rd time they're meeting this year, it's going to be that's going to be an exciting one to see what is going to happen because like I said, I would not be shocked if the Cardinals win. The only thing I would say is DeAndre Hopkins was a rumor to possibly come back, but he's not coming back. They say if DeAndre Hopkins somehow does come back, the Cardinals would have to make it to the NFC Championship. Which even if the Cardinals do win this week, they'll probably be out the next game, depending on who they face. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's so unfortunate, man.
Because they could have they were rolling until they lost D-Hop. They lost D-Hop, and then they were rolling before it. But they still got guys that can catch, man. Like I said, AJ Green. They got a run game. It's going to be interesting. They have a good defense. That's where a lot of people like overlook the Cardinals. They have a pretty good defense with Buda Baker and them boys over there. So it's going to be interesting. Monday night game. I like it. It's on Martin Luther King Day too. So a lot of people might be off. Like might be a day something. I guess something to look forward to on a Monday. So we can backtrack a little. We'll go to the quicker one, I think, the analysis, and then we'll go into maybe the final one, Dallas versus the Niners. But, the Steelers and the Chiefs, we were just kind of saying, I think the Steelers win that game. I would be super shocked if there's any way in hell that the Steelers win. And I think the Steelers got more love than we did against the Bucs, which is insane. I'm about to look at what that line is right now. Chiefs versus Steelers line. I actually did not – that's one of the lines I did not look at.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's there, man.
Okay, never mind. 12.5. All right. Okay. I was gonna say.
I was about to say, yeah, I don't think it's there, but I agree with you. I'll be shocked if Steelers win.
Yeah, 12.5. It's almost as bad as it gets, which would be like a 14-point spread, but or a 17-point spread, but. So I'm pulling for the Steelers. I'm trying to see who some of the comments are here, so bear with me, guys. Let's see. Okay, Jessica said I'll be in shock. She said I'll be in shock too. Yeah. Jessica, she's a Steelers fan. But she's like, I'll be in shock too. Yeah, I mean, it's another thing. You just have no expectations because you realistically don't really think that they're going to be able to beat the Chiefs. It's like the Eagles. You really don't have expectations. I will say I think the Eagles have a better chance to beat the Bucs.
It's no disrespect to the Steelers, by the way. It's no disrespect to the Steelers.
No.
I think Jessica probably knows that, but it's just Roethlisberger has been struggling to tote the ball out, to get it to some targets, especially on anything 15 yards, 15 plus yards. It's been tough for him, and I really feel for him because he really wants to play. You can see it. He really wants to play, but it's just that same ability is that arm is not what it used to be. So more like I said, props to those guys. Like I said, props to those Steelers for making the playoffs. But Chiefs, sir, man, that's a tall task.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tall task. Imagine if Ben still had his core with Bell and Brown. Yeah, if Le'Veon Bell was still Le'Veon Bell, see, I don't think Le'Veon Bell is who he is anymore. Even if they had Le'Veon Bell, I don't really think he'd be able to really do much because, running backs, like I said, have a shelf life 4 or 5 years. And when Le'Veon Bell went to the Jets, he didn't look that good. I know it's the Jets, but he held out in like the prime of his career, and unfortunately, I think it might have costed him a little bit. Antonio Brown, yeah, man, who really knows? But
well, at least he has that rap career to look forward to afterwards. Le'Veon
Bell. AB.
No, I'm talking about Le'Veon Bell. He tried to start a rap career too.
So did AB. AB just dropped a hit. I'll say actually the song is really not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not too bad. Pit not the palace. It's not terrible. But I think that game's more obvious. But we'll move to the final game on our list. We're kind of backtracking here. It's the spotlight game, right? It's the prime time. It's the 4:00 Sunday game, which is that is literally the prime time game. We know Dallas always gets prime time. He said Brown kind of reminds me of Dennis Rodman. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Antonio Brown. So just on Antonio Brown, I really feel with the CTE, with the Vontaze Burfict hit, I don't think he was ever the same. But I do know actually a couple people that used to work for the NFL. And the inside sources that I know people that work for them, and they said I knew somebody that actually worked with Antonio Brown when he first started, and actually before he even was in the NFL completely.
Right.
He worked with Antonio Brown. He said dude was a head case, cocky for a long time. He's like, yeah, the hit might have affected him, but he was who he was. A lot of his attitude and the way he acts was before that hit. So he was always he said he did not like working with him at all. That's just coming from that's coming from two people inside the NFL. sources that I have that worked for him. But
look at the comments right here. Brown reminds me of Dennis Rodman. I mean, I agree, but Dennis Rodman was kind of sensationalized for his his ways. His way that was kind of back in the day when the NBA really played basketball. Dennis got a little rough and listen, people love that. People love that, like what I'm saying, like rough and tough way of playing defensive basketball. So
yeah,
definitely different reactions with Dennis Rodman as opposed to Antonio Brown. And another thing, the Bulls organization let Dennis Rodman kind of be whoever he wanted to be. He let him change his hair color, change his style, kind of let him cross dress and stuff. Like, where some organizations wouldn't really go for that. So
yeah. I'm saying here it says he's like he's an asshole. Excuse my language. We put down here. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Said you guys got a good show here, man. Appreciate that, man. Always appreciate the support. And I see Mario's commenting in here. He says, hey, Antonio Brown needs to seek help. Yo, Mario, hop on, bro. You got the link. Click on in, man. Hear those thoughts.
You might as well jump in. But CT, I agree. I think it's a mental health issue, and maybe because listen, I don't know how long Antonio Brown has been playing football, but CTE can start as early as college football. So as far as your story goes with the individual you said had worked for that Steelers organization, that issue could have already have taken hold, So, it's give or take. Listen, it's not, can't judge a book by its cover all the time, man. People got stuff going on in family as well. It's not easy being a star out there. And you got family, expecting things, and everyone expecting something out of you. And some people can handle the pressure, some can't. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's why for anyone new coming into this live stream, listen, that's why I got this hat on right now. That's why I got this hat on. I never seen a player handle the pressure like this man right here.
Yeah, you saw how cool, calm, and collected he was in Washington, man, when those steps fell. Yo, and the funniest thing was, man, remember we were on the phone? It was like, I think New Year's Eve, man. We were on the phone talking about that game, that something bad was going to happen in that stadium and against Washington. And thank God Hurts didn't get hurt when those steps collapsed in that crappy ass field down there in FedEx Field and freaking Schneider.
I remember that conversation we had. We definitely did. For just to kind of, I guess, emphasize what me and Steve had talked about. For those of y'all who didn't know, some of our friends might know on here, but for those of y'all who don't know on here, right before this Redskins game, where the bleachers gave out, or actually the safety, I guess you could say the safety barrier gave out.
Yeah, the guardrail, yeah.
Squashed Jalen Hurts. We had a conversation like, man, we can see Redskins are kind of, one of those organizations that's a little messy. And we don't know how, we don't know if all of our players are going to get out of here intact on that day. And, sure enough, thankfully he made it through the game, but little did we know the most danger he'd be in was post game.
Going out the tunnel, man. This is wild. Like, I don't know. I just felt like there was some bad voodoo going on there with like that stadium. I never like playing Washington just because I agree they have a history with being dirty. And it wasn't even in the game though. So it was after the game, but thank God he was all right. But just going to your, like what you were saying with the maturity, man, and with the pressure this dude's dealt with. It's just crazy. The dude was so cool, calm, and collected. They were saying that on ESPN. They're like, yo, look how, like, do you want anybody more calm and collected than Jalen Hurts running your team? Imagine if those collapsed in front of Brady. He'd probably be pissed off and be upset. I mean, I'm not saying Brady's not a good leader. He knows how to get his guys fired up.
He might get fired.
Yeah.
He might get fired. If that almost hits Brady, somebody like higher up is getting fired. Like, probably the organization is getting fined. There's probably going to be a whole bunch of articles on how Jalen Hurts wrote that letter to the
Yeah.
Washington organization and to the
That-
NFL.
That was a
Man,
leader.
you know how many articles, if it almost would squash Brady, you know how many articles would be out right now talking about how much of a crap hole the franchise is. Now to be fair, Washington already has a bunch of articles out about how bad of an organization they are already. But I mean, we got sewage leakage going on in the stadium. I mean, man, it's pretty bad, man.
FedEx is a mess. I've never been there. I heard terrible things.
And listen, these fans are rival fans. But I feel for the Washington football team's fans. Like these fans out there in Washington deserve so much better. So it's a shame, man. I just hope that the organization improves it. And yes, I see Brady would sue.
Yes, he would.
I definitely, yeah, I definitely agree.
He said, what play is dirty to this day? I feel the clown he hit on Wentz. Yeah, that was definitely a dirty hit. He didn't need to pile him into the ground like that. That's unfortunate. That's one thing I feel sorry for Carson in his city is I will say that year in 2019, man, he got this team rolling. He won what 4 straight and he beat Dallas and we were able to get in the playoffs. And the Eagles looked pretty good, man, but we never really got to see what Wentz could be in the playoffs. He got hurt after 4 passing yards, like. We never got to see. It's unfortunate, man. I do kind of feel for the kid, but he definitely should have made the playoffs this year. There was no I was kind of excited to see what the kid was going to do in the playoffs this year for them. But I am happy because you know what? They didn't make the playoffs, we get a better draft pick. So, ultimately
get better draft position significant. It's very significant because we could have been at pick
Depending
18,
on how far they go.
19, 20. Now we're at pick what? We're at pick 15, right, Steve?
Yeah, I believe so. And then
top 15.
Both of them are top 15, I believe. Yeah, because the Dolphins and the Colts, both top 15 picks, which is huge. The Eagles pick will be left, obviously.
You got to keep those unless we're getting a very, very dependable veteran. I really think we should keep those unless we're getting a veteran wide receiver that has a reputation, man. Unless we're getting like Odell or something like that, I'd say we keep those draft picks and take our time in free agency. I think if we win this game right here, that's gonna make our free agency appeal a lot. It's gonna go up because I mean, they're like people are like, okay, well, this dude's only 23 and he beat Tom Brady, he beat the GOAT at 23, and he did something that Patrick Mahomes couldn't even do this, right?
Yeah, I like that you said that about the vet receiver stuff, man. Because I think the Eagles should do that in the offseason. They should get a veteran receiver, like not trade a draft pick for a veteran receiver though. I think the Eagles should look at the free agent market, see if they can get a vet receiver and be able to bring them in, and then through the draft we can draft at the other spots that we really need help. But just looking at it, the Dolphins and the Colts picks, we got picks 15 and 16. So we got picks 15 and 16 right on the border, and then wherever we land, we'll get Terrell Owens. He was in the stands at the one game. Like, put me in, coach. Like,
what game? Eagles game?
Yeah, I don't know if he was at Cincy. Where was he at? He was at one of the games. Or no. It wasn't an NFL game. It was he was at the Bama game. I think.
Okay.
Was it Bama, Georgia? I think. I forget. He was at some game though. I think it was Bama, Georgia.
Yeah, he's a pick me. He wants to get back in there.
Yeah, he's still built like a freak, but I don't know. I'm gonna hop to the. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's too old, though, man. I'm going to hop to the final game here we haven't touched on yet. The Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers. And, man, Dallas fans are going to hate me. But guess what? I am picking the Niners to beat Dallas in Dallas. Yes, sir. I think this is a bad matchup for Dallas. I really do. And I'm not just hating. I don't think this is a good matchup. I think if the Cardinals would have played them again, that they could have Marius is on. What's up, bro? I'm gonna bring him on.
Guys, how are you, man?
Bring him on in.
What up, bro?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, bro?
Buddy.
Nothing
Good,
much,
man.
man. I was,
Good.
I was driving. I was out again doing some errands, and I've been listening to you guys like throughout the whole night and stuff like that. So when I messaged you guys about the Antonio Brown thing earlier, I was on a red light. So I'm actually right outside of Dollar Tree. So yeah.
Appreciate your commitment, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Now
you jumping in, bro.
I gotta support the podcast, man. I saw George was in there earlier, and I'm assuming he had work.
Yeah, he had to bounce out, but it's all good, man. The show goes on. You actually just joined in time for us to get to Dallas and the Niners to our predictions.
We gotta listen, bro. Listen, George left, so we gotta get another Albanian guy in here, bro. You know we gotta have our fair share. You know we gotta have everybody in here and make this bitch international, for real.
But listen, of course,
I agree with you, Steve. I agree with you completely. I don't think Cowboys are playoff built. I just don't see it. The way that they celebrated against beating practice squad level players, I mean, people forget. People haven't been talking about it, but the Eagles backups held on well into the half of that game. Like, our starters weren't playing. And Dak and those guys were tied with them going into the half, which is why after the half they still had to play, which nobody's talking about. The Cowboys, look, on paper, Cowboys are good. Cowboys have looked good throughout the season.
Number one offense.
Cowboys have also looked bad throughout the season.
Yeah.
They're not consistent. They have not been a consistent franchise for the past 6 to 7 years.
Skip Bayless would not be happy with you guys.
Well, Skip actually said his team was going to lose during the playoffs. Skip actually said that.
Yeah.
Skip does not believe in the Cowboys.
The Niners are not a good matchup for them. They're not. It's a bad matchup, man, because they have a good defense and a good front four with Nick Bosa in them. It's not – the Cowboys have – as well. They were the number one scoring offense this year, I think, in Dallas Cowboys history too. But the thing about it is they do struggle against good defenses, and the Niners do have a good defense. Their strength is their offense, not their defense. Yeah, they have Diggs, they have Parsons. But outside of Diggs and Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence has an all right season, Randy Gregory. They do have guys that can play on the defense, but we already seen what Diggs is. Diggs has 11 interceptions on the year. It's ridiculous, but Diggs also bites on a lot of double moves. I don't know. The Niners can run the ball. They got Deebo Samuel. They got Brandon Ayuk. I don't know, man. I just don't think this is a good matchup. I think if they would have played the Cardinals again, I don't think there's any way Dallas would have lost to the Cardinals again. But this matchup against the 49ers, if they would have played the Saints, they would have beat the Saints. But the 49ers is not a good matchup for them. I don't think. Could Dallas win? Yes, it's not impossible. It's in Dallas. But I really do believe that the Niners are going to go in there and win. Right in Dallas's home in week 1. And if Dallas does win, oh well. But if they get eliminated in round 1, man, it is going to be pretty funny.
I mean, it's not a good matchup, man. Like you said, it's not a good matchup. But they listen, they can very well pull it out. Just like, I'm not going to say just like the Eagles can pull out against Tampa Bay because Cowboys aren't exactly the underdog against San Fran. But
a lot of good games this weekend.
In my eyes, Eagles and Cowboys have about like it's a 60-40 Eagles when it comes to Eagles versus Tampa, and people are probably gonna hate that because everybody loves Brady. But Brady is afraid of the Eagles, man. I'm telling you.
Yep, and even me,
man, I'm telling you. And I like Cowboys San Fran. I think it's the other way around, man. I think Cowboys have a 40% chance of beating San Fran. And I think Eagles have a 60% of beating Tampa. People are going to call me crazy. But listen, people have been calling me crazy since the beginning of the season for wearing this hat. Because I invested money. I used my own hard-earned dollars to buy this damn hat. and motherfuckers laughing at me. I'm like, bro, you never know. But remember the first podcast, Steve, I said
remember you
had to go positive, bro.
I remember you had the hat on the boat. I remember
on the boat when we were out vacate time, summertime on the boat, had the hat. So
that was opening day for us. Like that was the start of the NFL season that day. We were listening on the radio.
We trashed the Falcons that day, man. I remember it pretty well.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I like your takes, man. Like I said, like even for me, even though I did pick the Bucks, I'd say $60-40 or maybe $55-45. But I'm still thinking the Eagles could definitely win the game. Every game, dude, almost every game this weekend, besides I think 2, are really close. The Cincy game we talked about in the Raiders could go either way. Eagles and the Bucks either way. Niners and the Cowboys either way. Rams and the Cardinals either way. The only teams I think that the Chiefs are going to take care of, the Steelers, and I think that the Bills are going to take care of the Patriots. I think those games won't be as close, but the other 4 games are very good this weekend. It's going to be interesting. Interesting. Marius, what's your thoughts on this Dallas game?
Yeah, man. Yo, I think Dallas, man, they ended up with a really, really bad matchup, man. I think they would have ended up better playing the Cardinals, bro. I think that's what they really wanted to see because Arizona did it to them in the regular season, man. I think they wanted to get revenge on them, but San Francisco played one hell of a game last week against the Rams, man. That was like one of the best regular season games I had seen in a while. It was only bettered by the game that was like later that night between the Chargers
and the Raiders,
which would have been hilarious if that game had ended in the tie, man. Pittsburgh fans would have been crying the following morning, dude. I don't know. I still don't understand why the Chargers coach called the timeout, man. I think the Raiders were going to play for a draw. He called the timeout, and they made him pay, and LA is now sitting at home watching the Steelers go in. I actually think San Francisco is going to win on Sunday. I think they will beat Dallas. Dak has been very, very inconsistent all year. Yeah, he's had some really good games here and there, but for the most part, he hasn't really been all that good. Last week he played against our backups. You know, they like had him in there until the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they were all flexing and all that stuff like that. I'm like, man, y'all need to relax, dude. That's our BNRC team, man. Y'all ain't be nobody special. I think San Francisco is going to win on Sunday, man. I think they're going to beat Dallas. I think Dallas is going to be one and done. And I think Skip Bayless is going to be crying to Shannon Sharp come Monday morning, man. As far as the Eagles go, man, that is so close. It's so 50-50. Now they're actually talking about like I was actually listening to sports radio earlier before I listened to you guys. And they're saying that the weather apparently is going to be a factor too. I don't know if it's going to rain down there on Sunday or whatnot, but if the weather is a factor, that actually benefits us because we love to run the football. So if it's going to be rainy weather, man, and we can run the ball and keep Brady on the sidelines, we have an excellent chance of winning. I don't know what the score is going to be. I mean, I am an Eagles fan, so I'm going to be a bit biased, but I don't really know. It's so 50-50. It's so hard to pick them. I mean, You're right though, Steve. Now is the best time to play against Tampa because they don't have Chris Godwin. Antonio Brown is not there, even though he needs to seek help ASAP.
Vontae David.
Yeah, it really can go either way, man. I really don't know. I mean, that I feel like it's going to come down to like whoever gets the ball last in the fourth quarter. I feel like it's going to win the game on a last-second field goal.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's what I actually said. Eagles over Tampa 3-up. So I actually did say that Eagles were going to win by a field goal. So I agree with you, Maris. And to the only thing that scares me what you put forth, like the only thing that scares me with the scenario which you put forth about the rain and things of that nature is yes, it does gear towards us to run the ball in the rain, but Miles Sanders, he has broken
hand.
Like his it really fractured. I'm not going to say it's full break but it's a fracture, but it could very well turn into a break. And that's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid of someone hitting him just in the right spot, while he's toting the ball. So watch for that.
We got Howard and Scott too.
And Miles Sanders tends to fumble.
Yeah, so
here and there. He has fumbling issues here and there that we've seen. So we gotta hope and pray that doesn't resurface. Hopefully in practice he's working on that right now this week. Just don't fumble the rock. Like all these games. Like you said, most of these games anyone can win except for the Steelers one. Steelers versus Chiefs, like, come on. But all the rest of these games, man, any of these teams can win. You got to take care of the football. I think those are the keys to victory for most of these games.
Yeah, no, it's 100% true. And yeah, I'm seeing the comments here. He says weather is beautiful down here. Been 75. That's my boy Ray. He's down there. He said if that rain hits, the chances are going to change things. That tropical rain. He said good point. Yeah, because
mind bringing some of that 75-degree weather up here, bro. We could use something.
Yeah, it'll be. I agree with you, Mario. That's going to change the chances for them because Brady's played in the cold, right? But a lot of these other guys, they're really not used to it. Like Brady played up in New England in crappy weather in Gillette, but yeah, it definitely could change things up. And I'm so close on it too, man. I'm thinking like $55-$45, but that percentage could, if the rain factors, is going to change things. My 2 points earlier, you probably heard, were the Eagles. There's two things that just worry me. It's Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul are coming back for them. They were the number 3 rush defense this year. Tampa Bay was. They probably would have been number 1 if those two guys were there. And that's our identity, is to run the football. If we're able to run the football effectively on them, like we did the Saints, who had a good run defense, we'll win. Also, Jonathan Gannon is going to have to change his approach. You cannot rush forward, Brady. You cannot play back. You have to bring pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Brady doesn't like pressure. You have to bring it on him. Because guess what? He'll pick you apart if you just try to rush forward and try to rely on. Tom Brady has some Pro Bowl offensive linemen on that line. And if you try to just bring Barnett and Sweat and Cox and who else is it? Hargraves, you try to bring those 4 and that's it. Milton Williams. I think it's going to be a long day. So you have to bring pressure. Gannon's going to have to change his approach. And he can't wait till the second half like he does in a lot of games to change that approach. You got to come out from Jump Street with that approach.
Yeah, you can't afford that
in my opinion.
So you got to hit him right from the beginning. Exactly. If you do that in the playoffs, man, Brady's going to make you pay. He ain't going to allow you to if you don't get something early, man, he's going to make you pay. So they need to, change their scheming.
The Eagles have been notorious of adjusting very well at the half, but not playing good in the first half. It's simple. If you play that way in the playoffs against these better teams, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to win.
Yeah, you're going to get exposed.
You will against a good team, yes, because we've been playing not good teams. That's the thing. Like you saw who do we play? We played freaking that guy for the Giants.
I saw a stat. They said that the teams that we played with the winning record, we were 0-8, and the teams that we played with the bad record, we were 9-0. So we took care of all the bad teams, but for some reason we just couldn't crack it against the good teams. And Tampa's not a good team. Tampa is an excellent team. So if they don't come out swinging, man, Brady will make you pay.
Well, we did lose to the Giants, who are not a good team. So I think maybe one of those numbers are skewed.
I think you're right. I think they're
1-7 probably.
I think I have it the other way around. I think they were
7-1,
1-8. Yeah, 1-7 or 1-8 against the bad teams or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Here's the thing, though. The one thing I will say, so Eagles fans have hope here. I know that it didn't look good that they didn't beat a lot of good teams. There's one difference, though. Besides that Chargers game, we hadn't started running the football at all, like hardly at all, when we played those good teams. So yeah, we lost to the Niners. Didn't run the football. Got blown out by Dallas. We ran the first game. Ran the ball 3 freaking times. We played Brady and the Bucks. Did not run the ball. We ran it, but not a lot.
Yeah, and that was a close game. That was a very close game.
We could have won. We could have won. You played the Chiefs. You didn't run the ball. That's what I'm saying. Like the Raiders game didn't run the ball. Like those are 5 games right there that they didn't run the ball. They ran in the Chargers game. So they started in the Lions game is when they started to do it well, right? That was the game they blew the Lions out. It was on Halloween. It was on a Sunday. It was on Sunday. We blew the Lions out, and then we started running the football. The next week we played the Chargers. We lost by 3 to Herbert. They kicked a game-winning field goal. That game could have went our way. We could have won that game. So against good teams, and the Dallas game last week, I don't count it because we didn't play our starters. So that they're going to count that, of course, in the statistic against a winning team. But to be honest, Dallas, it was what it was. We didn't play our starters. Yeah, we got beat.
Sorry to cut you off, Steve. When you don't run the ball, it makes you one-dimensional.
Yeah, it does. And the Eagles were not doing that at the beginning of the year. Who knows how many of those games we could have won if we would have ran the ball. So, guys, have faith. Yeah, it doesn't look good. We haven't beaten a lot of good teams, but we also we didn't have our identity. We didn't even know who we were at that time. We were not running the football. at all. So this team is definitely different than when we played Dallas in week 3, when we played the Niners in week 2, we played the Chiefs and the Bucks and the Raiders. We're a different team than we were then. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, we lost to 2 winning teams. Like I said, Dallas, though, you cannot count last week. So realistically, 1 winning team in the Chargers, and we only lost by 3. So that's an important stat to know, guys. This game is going to be interesting. I really do believe the Birds can win it, but I'm going to pick the Bucks. But I do believe the Birds can win easily.
You know, going to what you just said there, Steve. I mean, with that argument saying, well, Eagles haven't beaten any really good quarterbacks. Well, I mean, look at the people who are saying that stuff. Look at where that stuff is. I'm not talking about the people who are kind of echoing it. I'm talking about the core of where that stigma is coming from. It's all coming from the networks and the people who never believed in the Eagles in the first place. Like it all came from the people who said we were going to be what? I mean, these are people who said we were going to get 3 wins, 4 wins max this year. That's right. Where most of that's coming from. And a lot of these analysts and people in the mainstream, they just don't like being wrong. So they try to come up with an explanation as to why. What justifies why the Eagles? Why am I wrong? Why am I wrong? I'm wrong because of course, this is their quarterbacks. They can beat bad quarterbacks, you know. But I mean, to be honest with you, the Eagles' offense isn't going against quarterback. Like this isn't. We still got defenses that we got to play that are for the most part at full strength. So that argument is null and void when it comes to the offense. And then when you wanna talk about the defense and things of that nature, well, listen, we're still dealing with first year coaches and coordinators. If you want to bring up excuses as to why we're winning, bring up the excuses as to why we're losing too. Then we didn't have an identity. Okay, we have a first year coach. Like, if you want to bring up excuses as to why we're winning, why can't you bring up excuses as to why we were losing in the beginning of the season when we had no identity and we didn't know what this team was?
True. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, a lot of people I'll be honest, I didn't think the Eagles were going to have – I don't think they were going to make the playoffs and have a winning record, but I think I had the Eagles at 7 wins. I mean, yeah, some of these people, they picked like 3 wins. I'm like, come on. Like, it's just like in a 17-game season, it's kind of crazy. The Eagles beat a lot of the teams they were supposed to beat. The only game that worried me was that Giants loss. And Marius, I guess, had to drop off. But the only game that worried me was that Giants loss the first time, right? Because we would have had a long winning streak going into that Dallas game if it wasn't for that game. It was 13-7 was the final score. We only put up 7 points on the Giants. How bad they are. Yeah. That game was really the only game that really worried me as of late. Other than that, though, that was still a while ago. It was before the bye. I don't count the Dallas game last week, but yeah, we haven't played great teams, but we've won. We've beaten who we're supposed to beat. So a lot of times good teams lose to crappy teams. Look at that. Look what the Colts just did to the Jaguars. You know?
Yeah.
We didn't let up. We still beat the teams we were supposed to beat, the teams that were on our schedule. Yeah, so I agree. Almost every game this weekend, it's going to be – I think they're all going to be good games, besides maybe 2. Steelers and the Chiefs, obviously, we've been saying, and then the Bills and the Patriots. I think that game will be a little closer than the Chiefs game. I think that could be a 10-point victory for the Bills, but I'm excited, man. I'm hoping I'm just going to enjoy the ride. No expectations. If the Eagles can get past Brady, that would be huge. Yeah, how beautiful would it be, man? It'd be like a late Christmas present to see the Eagles beat Brady and to see the Cowboys get eliminated in the first round. But if the Eagles make it further than the Cowboys, that would just be so funny. That's all we need. Yeah, that's all we need. You can knock us out in the next round. Who cares? I'll
go as far as to say if we beat the Bucks. If we beat the Bucks on Sunday, I think it will change the whole landscape of the NFL. And this is why I think so. There's a stigma right now that's out around running quarterbacks. That's what they call them, running quarterbacks. There's a stigma out right now that a running quarterback cannot hold a candle to a pocket passing quarterback when it comes down to playoff caliber talent, right? So if I'm telling you, if Hurts beats Brady out, that's going to change a lot of people's opinion on Jalen Hurts. It's going to change a lot of people's opinion on the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to change a lot of people's opinion on the running quarterback stigma as a whole. Just my opinion.
Yep. So yeah, we were just saying about like he was saying that if we beat the Bucs, that it'll change the whole landscape for us. I think their confidence would be ridiculous if they're able to surpass the Bucs and be able to get on to the next round. It could be interesting. And we were also saying that how beautiful would it be, like a late Christmas present, if the Eagles were able to beat the Bucs and the Cowboys lost to the freaking Niners in the first round.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Man,
that's what I'm hoping for.
So
I'm so glad San Francisco's facing Dallas, man. Dallas ain't gonna have it easy in the first round.
Some
it'll be
breakdowns.
a long afternoon by the time 7:30 comes around on Sunday. Yeah, we could be laughing.
I know, man. Dude, I'm like, yeah, where them Cowboys at?
If Cowboys lose this week, you guarantee some TVs are going to be smashed outside.
Yeah, man.
I bet money, man. It's going to be a lot of videos of Cowboys fans smashing their TVs because you're winning. I mean, this is what? Another Cowboys team that's won the division, that made it to the playoffs, and that would be another year where nothing has come from it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yo, what's this George in the
well,
comments?
Listen, Packers better take care of it. I see the comment. It says Packers taking the NFC. I'm like, well, they're the favorites. So, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers chokes the third consecutive years in the NFC Championship game, man, I don't really know what to say then.
The funny thing is, I was like, what is that, George in the comments with the Packers? No,
I'm like,
nah. The Packers 100% should take the NFC. So this will be Rodgers' what, sixth time there? This is fifth, right? Or is it the sixth?
Well, it's 3 consecutive.
He's played the Falcons.
Yeah, 6. This is the 6th one.
And he's lost 4 of them so far. He's only made it to the Super Bowl one time and won it all. Credit to him. He won in 2011, but he's been to the NFC Well, he's been there 4 times. If he gets there this year, all he has to do is win one game, and they'll be in the NFC Championship. If he gets there this year, it'll be 6 times in his career. If he loses again, 5 times in his career, and this will be the second consecutive year that he's home. He's got the 1 seed. If they lose, it's not going to be a good look for Rodgers. So the NFC Championship has been Rodgers' Achilles heel. We'll see what happens. I do believe that the Packers will be in the Super Bowl this year. I do.
I believe so too.
But you just never know, though. You never know. I don't know. Rodgers is the most experienced besides Brady, but Brady just doesn't have the team right now that Rodgers has. The real A-Rod. Compared to Rodriguez. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. The NFC is strong. You know, the Rams, who knows what they could do. If Stafford gets 1 win, who knows what he could, like, he might get confidence. He's never had a playoff win. If he gets 1 win, I just don't know. I think they got a curse when teams build up teams like the Rams have. I know I'm going to get some hate because I actually have some of my boys are Rams fans. And here's the thing. I think the Rams are a good team, but they stack their team. And a lot of times when teams do that, it just does not bode well. And Odell still has that curse on him, I swear. Ever since that boat picture for the Giants, he's got that curse looming. Ever since they took that picture on that boat in Miami or off the coast of Florida, man, he's had that curse over him. I don't know if Odell's ever going to win a championship. So who knows what's going to happen there.
I mean, this will probably be his best opportunity. I mean, he's on a very talented team, man. I mean, they got Cooper Kupp playing out of his mind. Their running game ain't that bad, and their defense is good. So if he's going to get a chance to win, I mean, that would be the time.
Odell hasn't won anything since that picture, bro. He hasn't come close to doing anything relevant in the NFL ever since he took that boat picture, man. I think that put some bad Giants juju on him. Some bad, because Giants juju, that's the worst type of juju you can get on you right now.
They're the most losing team since that picture in the NFL. The Giants. The Giants are the worst team in the NFL since that picture.
Giants juju,
bro.
Giants juju is Giants doo doo.
They've won like 25. They've won like 25.
Trash.
They've won like 25% of their games in the last 4 or 5 years.
I think their only highlight has been Saquon Barkley's rookie year, bro. I can't think of anything else they've done in like the last 4 years. I think Barkley's been the only positive spot. That one, his rookie year, man, that was it.
And even his rookie year, they still had a losing season.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for Saquon. Like Saquon's whole career is going to get shortened because of the New York Giants. His career is going to get cut short. I guarantee he's already starting to get injuries that he probably wouldn't have if he was playing for a team with the actual offensive line. But since they decided to go running back, and then offensive line, I mean, it hasn't been looking good. I mean, Giants is just one of those teams that they could be good, but they never invest money into their offensive line. They invest money into their defense. They usually have a pretty average or a slightly above average defense. But New York Giants, if you notice, they don't really have – I mean, guys are always getting to their quarterbacks, whoever's playing back there. And it just sucks because, now Daniel Jones has a bad stigma to him. Now, I mean, it's in Daniel Jones, we haven't seen him behind a good offensive line. You don't know what he could be. But you know what, though? We may never know because his development – may have stifled because of that offensive line or lack thereof. Like it's like imagine putting Hurts behind a bad offensive line. It's gonna ruin his career.
It's gonna ruin his development.
An offensive line is so important. We saw it last year in the Super Bowl. What happened when Mahomes' offensive line was broken down? I don't care how good Patrick Mahomes is. You don't have a good O line, and that defensive front is coming for you. You're in trouble.
Yeah, he was basically running for his life on every play, man. Like I couldn't think of one play last year where he didn't have to scramble. It was crazy.
Yeah, and you see, they were missing Fisher last year, and the one other thing is a perfect example is remember when DeMarco Murray came here from the Cowboys? Remember that? And remember how good he was in Dallas because he had that O line. They gave him to the Eagles, and what happened? Guess what? Our O line was not. Yeah, well, number one, I do agree. Chip Kelly tried to run him east and west. He's not an east-west runner. He's a north-south runner. He's not a LaShawn McCoy. But number two, our offensive line was not great, and that's the thing. Like, when you don't have a great offensive line, guess what? That's going to swallow up a run. A running back, as good as they are, they still need a good offensive line. That's why Zeke bought all his offensive linemen ATVs that one Christmas. Remember that?
Yeah.
He bought them all off-road vehicles and shit in ATVs because – it's real. Without the offensive line, you don't get the holes open for you as a runner.
Right.
So that's credit to our offensive line this year, man. How good has our offensive line been? The way we've been able to run the football.
The best.
The rushing numbers prove it, man. We've been the number one team. I mean, it requires good running backs, but man, if the line doesn't open up holes, I'm like, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. So the fact that we're the number one rushing team, man, shows. We are the team owes the offensive line a great deal of gratitude.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like arguably, we had the best offensive line this year. Arguably, I mean, like, there's no Samalo, and I like how Dickerson was stepping up. Obviously, Lane Johnson, you got Jason Kelsey, but we didn't have any. We also didn't have any Brandon Brooks as usual. Brandon Brooks, I always used to say, he's the best offensive lineman in the league when he's healthy. He can never stay healthy. He's the best in the league though when he's healthy. There's not one offensive lineman above him.
He's older. He's one of those guys, one of those veterans that was a part of that 2017 Eagles offensive line that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. So that was one of those offensive linemen that was there for that. So, it's just hopefully, it's tough, man. It's tough, because we've been waiting for him for forever to come back, haven't we?
Every year he starts the year or he gets hurt in training or he comes back game one or in preseason gets hurt. It's always something with him, man. This is like 2-3 years has been going on where he just can't get healthy. He's out for a whole year. And
then him just as well as Lane Johnson. Him and Lane Johnson have mental health things going on there, and that's a serious topic. That's a serious, and more power to him for being straightforward and speaking out to the media about those mental health things that's going on. Because that's not easy, especially when you're a football player. Everybody expects you to be a man of steel when you're a football player, but that's just everyone's human at the end of the day, and so more props to Lane Johnson and Brooks for speaking up about the mental health, because at one point I don't know if you remember this, but Brooks before Lane Johnson did it this season, Brooks did it. I think it was back in 2017 or 2018 where he had sit out a couple games due to mental health issues going on.
I remember he spoke out about it. Yeah, it was a big thing. And
anxiety,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
anxiety for Brooks.
Yep. And then nobody could really say anything to him at the time because he was the number one O-line man in the league. If somebody like that's going through it, you know what I mean? It's not like he was like he had done a lot. Like, so it's important, I think, for someone like that to speak out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, man. I gotta bounce, man. I got some things I gotta take care of, but I just wanted to come in, man, real quick, just kind of get my input a little bit, man. It was good seeing you guys, man. Rich, it was good seeing you, bro.
Good seeing you, bro.
Steve, wish you and G the best, man. I hope I always watch you guys on YouTube, man. I smash that like button, man. I always try to comment, put you guys up in the algorithm, do the best that I can, and man, let's make the Locked In podcast the best podcast in town, bro.
Amen, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, brothers. I'll take care, man. Locked In Nation. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.
Stay locked in.
Good night, brother. Stay locked in.
All right.
Bye. All right, man. Y'all probably gonna wrap up. Get ready to wrap up too. We've been on here a little bit, man. Damn, we've been on almost 2 hours, but we've been going at it. Yeah.
A lot to talk about.
Hell yeah, man. But I had a blast, man. I don't think we had any guests like last week. A couple weeks ago, we had my boy Bryce that came on towards the end, but no real shout outs. I just want to give a quick little condolences. So my uncle actually passed away over the weekend. Unfortunately, it's actually Nina's father. He passed away over the weekend. So my uncle he's getting buried tomorrow. He passed due to COVID complications. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to my uncle. It's been a little difficult this week, but we've been powering through. But when somebody passes, especially when they're a little bit younger, it's very upsetting at first. But I guess you just try to look at it as a celebration of their life and the time that they were able to have on this earth. But I think it's the saddest because just how sudden it was. So just wanted to give a little shout out to my uncle. We're going to miss him greatly. And it's a shame. He died at 60. So he just turned 60 and he passed due to COVID.
And what's his name?
Bill O'Prisco was his last name. Last name O'Prisco. So it's Nina's father. Nina. So
yeah,
my uncle Bill is sad. But
so shout out to Bill O'Prisco. And God bless, man. It's not easy, bro. It's not easy going through these times, man. It's a lot of stuff going on with this COVID. But shout out to him and just keep him in prayers and things of that nature. And pray that he's moved on to a better place right now. And everybody, just cherish your loved ones out here. It's not easy. It's rough times, but he has family. We have family. So everybody just cherish each other while you still can, because you never know when your day is up.
Exactly. You just never know how sudden somebody could take you. You could be going into the weekend feeling great, and you just never know. You don't make it out the weekend. You know what I mean? You just never know when something could happen, guys. So just make sure that's a very, very well said, man. And just cherish your loved ones, guys. And just appreciate each other. Appreciate each other's company. Every single time you're with somebody, make sure that you value the time that you're spending with them. Don't be on your phones and not paying attention to the people you're around, because you just never know when somebody's last day could be. You may never see somebody again. So try to enjoy the company of that person when you're with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure.
I agree.
For
sure. God bless Bill. Thank you for sharing that, Steven. I know that's not easy for you to share that. So thank you for speaking out and sharing a part of your life with us. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for the kind words, bro. I think I'm going to wrap up here, man, since we're kind of coming towards the end. We went through all the wild card round matchups. We talked a lot about the Eagles, obviously. I'm excited for this weekend. Can't wait to see some. Well, Saturday football is going to be all right? Sunday is when it's going to get interesting, but I'm excited to see some football this weekend. And let's go Eagles! Thank you to everybody who commented in tonight. Everybody to watch. Thank you, obviously, to Rich here on the other end. He was with me through the entire live stream, so I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, of course. You know, just in case y'all ain't know, today I was an interim co-host today. But listen, you guys will be seeing more of me. Hopefully, you know, I'm here whenever Steve needs me. I'm out here, bro. Just here to give my points, my perspective, and encouragement and positivity out there. Go follow my channel, the Positive Vibes channel. Follow my YouTube, Rich and Media. Got some Eagle stuff on there, as well as some positivity on there as well. And of course, you got to stay locked in.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yes, sir. I'm dropping your things below. Rich and Media. That's on. This is going on the Facebook feed.
Yeah.
This is going on the Facebook feed. So be sure to comment in the. No, this is going on the YouTube stream. So on Facebook, when you're done this, bro, comment your stuff in the Facebook one. So everybody has.
We'll do. We'll do.
And then what's your other one? The Positive
Vibes page right there. That's that page on Facebook. And that's, like I said, we release positive vibes, you know, no negativity in that space, you know, for anyone, especially people who's dealing with a lot of mental health things going on. That's a very safe space, you know, very safe space for people who's going with mental health and things of that nature. You stay positive. You know, it's a lot of negativity out on the news and a lot of negativity out in the streets and a lot of negativity out even in people's workplaces, man. You'll be surprised. So, you know, everyone has a couple of novellas going on out there in their lives right now. If you don't know what novella is, that's a Spanish, kind of like Spanish drama, Spanish, you know, soap opera. So
yeah.
We avoid the novellas over here, you know. We stay positive and we stay locked in on the Locked In podcast, man. I thank you for having me, man. I thank you for bringing me on again. I really appreciate every moment that I get to spend with you, talking on here, talking to Dylan, talking to Nina out there. God bless you, Nina. Sorry for your loss. I appreciate you guys, and your family is a really great family and really good people. So thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Appreciate you too, bro. Always appreciate your perspective, man, and in your time, bro, and your positive energy, man. Always appreciate it, bro. So thank you. Thank you for coming on. And I just thank you to George as well, obviously joining us for the short time, and thank you to Marius for joining us also. But yeah, man, you'll definitely be on some more episodes, man. I'll definitely bring you obviously, man. You've already been on some, but I'll definitely be having you back on. But I'm gonna wrap it up here for tonight, guys. Go Birds, or whoever your teams are out there. I'm excited to see this football weekend. I'll follow up on the pages next week, though. Even though the episode won't be about football, you know, we'll follow up on the Facebook channel and stuff. I like it, man. I actually have some slides too, some Eagle slides too. It's somewhere downstairs, but I got some as well, man. Let's go. I got the hat. You got the Hurt season.
Yeah, we see that snapback.
Yeah, I got the Eagles under here as well. So
represent, man.
Let's go. All right, guys. So we'll take off for tonight. Everybody have a good weekend. You have a good weekend as well, bro. Let's get this win. EAGLES
Eagles.
Fly, Eagles fly. Let's go. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for joining as well, bro. Have a good one, brother.
Take care.
Peace.